Hello, my name is Angie. Welcome to Yarn Over. This week, I would like to talk to you about this yarn that I heard of a few months ago. I know I'm a little bit late. Everyone has been using this yarn for about 5 or 6 months now, right? But I kind of wanted the hype to die down a little bit before I went ahead and purchased it. So this is let me make sure that you can see it. This is the Red Heart yarn. Granny square, all-in-one granny square. So as I said, this came out quite a few months ago, and it comes in all different colors. I actually got these colors because it was kind of all that they had left at the time. And the cool thing about this is that you are supposed to be able to make these lovely granny squares without having to cut your yarn. Yep, no cutting off, no ends to weave in, just one continuous strand. So it has all the colors in it that you would need to make this, and you don't have to cut it, and you're going to continue. So there's been a lot of talk online as to whether or not this yarn really works. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how I was able to make these granny squares. I made 2 to make sure that it wasn't a fluke. And do you want to know if it worked or not? Well, I'll let you know at the end of the video. Yeah, I'll see you in a minute. This isn't going to be like exactly a tutorial. I would just like to show you how I went ahead and made these great looking granny squares using let me put this here for you, the Red Heart all-in-one granny square yarn. Okay, so let me put this over here. Okay, so it's important to follow the instructions step by step. Okay, so they start off by telling you to make sure that you have a 4-inch tail. Pull from the center. Make sure that you pull from the center of the yarn. Okay, and make sure that you have a 4-inch tail. And yeah, you should probably go ahead and measure it. So mine is 4 inches. Don't pull on it. Don't pull it taut. Don't make it super loose. Just keep it somewhere in the middle. This is why I think beginners, this is not the best yarn for beginners, because you really have to work on your tension. Okay, so according to the pattern, it says you have to have a 4-inch tail. Please go ahead and measure the 4-inch tail. And then the pattern says to go ahead and, let me see what it says, chain 4. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and chain 4. Now, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, I chained 4. Not too loose, not too tight. So just really pay attention to your tension. I'm going to take my hook, this one right here, and I'm going to insert it into the first stitch, yarn over, and pull it through that stitch and pull it through the loop that's on my yarn. And now I have a loop. This is how you begin granny squares. This is one method of beginning a granny square. Now, again, some people were complaining because this is not how they begin their granny squares, but I highly recommend that you make the granny square according to the instructions, because if not, then it's it's not going to work for you. Okay, so after you make that loop, you're going to go ahead and do the first round. When we're working granny squares, we're working in rounds. We're not flipping the work over. We are just going around and around. Okay, so we're going to do our first round. Our first round says do a chain 6. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not too loose and not too tight. I'm going to make 3 double crochets in here. This is 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 3 double crochets. Okay, then it says chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and do it again. Okay, 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and make 3 double crochets in the center, 2, and 3. Okay, now so far I've made 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets. Next step is going to be another chain 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm looking at my yarn. I might just make it. Let's see. And then I'm going to make 2 more double crochets in here. Here's 1. And here is 2. Yeah, see that? It came out. So this means that I just need to be a little bit tighter, but I'm not going to go ahead and take out all that great work. No, sir. I'm just going to unravel a little bit, maybe to my last double crochet. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and make another, I'm going to complete, see I have 2, I'm going to complete my 3rd one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it a little bit tighter, just a little bit as I make it. Yeah, so this double crochet is just a little bit smaller than these other 2. Then I'm going to do a chain 3, and I'm going to also put that a little tighter. 1, 2, 3. Yep. And I'm going to go ahead and make those last 2 double crochets. 1, make it a little tighter, and 2. Aha! All right. So I did it. And then I'm gonna slip stitch into here. And there you go. I have my first row, my first round. Okay. Yeah. So again, very important to follow the instructions. I'm gonna go ahead and begin round 2. So for round 2, it says that you're going to go ahead and slip stitch in here into the chain 3 space. I'm going to pull out my yarn. I like to see where it's going to go, and pull. Where's the next color change? See the next color change? There you go. Okay, so I know that I have that much to go. Okay, so it says slip stitch into the chain space from below, and then chain 6. Okay, not too loose and not too tight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the corner is going to be 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, there you go. Chain 1, and in this spot here it's going to be 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Not too loose and not too tight, for me anyway. Chain 3, and continue just as the pattern says. I'm just going to continue as the pattern says, and I will meet you at the end of this round. Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and show you what this last round will look like. I've made 2 double crochets in the corner. Here's my 3rd one. I'm going to chain 3, 2, and 3, and I'm going to go ahead and make the 3 double crochets in the corner. But here we go. Here's 1, here's 2, here's 3. Let me take a look at the yarn. I should have enough. Chain 1, and then in this space here I'm going to do 2 double crochets. Here's 1 double crochet, and here is the 2nd double crochet. I have a little bit too much yarn left here. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and unravel this. So this is the thing about the yarn, it's not always going to be perfect. So I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to make these last few stitches a little bit looser. Okay, yep, and just make them looser here, just a little bit looser. Now you can't see it, right? Or maybe you can, I don't know. Here's the 2nd one, just a little bit looser, and here's the 3rd one. And then I'm going to chain 1, And I'm going to make these last 2 stitches in here. 1 and 2. And there you go. All I had to do was just make the last few stitches a little bit looser. Okay, so I'm going to slip stitch 1, 2, 3 into the 3rd chain here. And I have my 2nd row. And you pretty much go on that way. I'm going to go ahead and finish this. I'm going to go ahead and do the next round. Okay, so I have my 3 double crochets, my chain 3, and my 3 double crochets. So let's go ahead and see what happens at the end of this round. Okay, so it says chain 1, 3 double crochets in here, 2 and 3, and we're gonna do a chain 1. I don't know, it looks like I may or may not have enough yarn. I'm not sure. Let's see. So what I might do is I might make these last 2 a little bit tighter to make sure that I can fit them in there. And let me see. What do you think? You think I'm going to have enough yarn? Here's 1. No, I don't have enough yarn. Okay, but that's okay. That's not a big deal. I'm going to go to these last 2 here, and I'm just going to tighten them up just a little bit. That's all. It's not such a big deal. I guess it's better than weaving in all those ends. And it's kind of fun, I guess. Here's 2. Here's the 2nd one. I'm just tightening them up as I go along. And here's 3. It may not be enough still. I'm not sure. Here's the chain 1. And then let's see. Let's see if I have enough. Do I have enough? What do you think? You think I'm going to have enough? Let me see. I'm going to wrap it around and I'm going to put it in there. And oh no, I missed it by just a little bit. Listen. Okay, so I'm going to go back up to here. Okay. So you get the idea, right? You don't have to dismantle the whole thing. You just need to tighten a stitch here or there, or loosen a stitch here and there to complete the granny square. Okay, here we go. I'm tightening it as I go along by giving it a little tug. Here's how you tighten your stitches. You just give it a little tug. Some people do that automatically. I'm not a very tight crocheter. As I said, my tension is pretty even. You think I'm going to do it this time? Here's 2. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yo. Yo. That's frustrating. This yarn is not for the faint of heart. So I will have to go back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward that part. Okay. Okay. Moment of truth. I went ahead and I tightened my stitches, and it's not a very noticeable thing. You just notice it if you're a crocheter. Let's see, do we have enough yarn? Yes, we do not. Yep. And then I'm going to insert it here, and here we go. And I have completed my 3rd round. So you get the idea. And I was actually able to make this with not too much. So if you get to the color change too soon, you just unravel a little bit of it, and you make your stitches just a little bit tighter. If you have a lot more yarn left, then you go ahead and you make your stitches looser. And if you you don't have to unravel the whole row. You just really need to unravel the last few stitches, usually one side, sometimes a little bit more of the second side. And after you've made a few of these, I think you can kind of figure out when you need to tighten it and when you need to loosen it. So as I said, I've already made 2 of these. I am able to do it with a little bit of finessing. I rather like the yarn. Not a good yarn for beginners, but a really cool yarn for those of us who have been crocheting for quite a while, because let me tell you, it can be rather frustrating to unravel and over and over again until you get it just right. And I did use the recommended hook size. The recommended hook size was 5.5. I did use the recommended hook size, which was a 5.5 right here. Can you see? Yep. Well, it's better if there's something behind it. Okay. Some people went ahead and used a smaller hook size or a larger hook size because their tension is not quite where they would like for it to be. But as I said, my tension is pretty even. So follow the instructions. Follow the instructions. If you veer from the instructions, you will have all kinds of issues. And it is not such a big deal to pull it out and put it back in, because we don't have to tie anything. It's not like we're going to have to start the row all over again and retie the knots, all kinds of stuff. So this was fun. I enjoyed this yarn. I'm going to use it in other patterns. I want to see what else I can do with it. Yeah. So that's it. This is the all-in-one granny square. I hope that you enjoyed it. Again, this is not a tutorial. This is just my opinion. Okay. So what did you think? Not that bad, huh? This yarn is, I would not recommend this yarn for beginners. I'm going to say that right up, because you really have to have a really good control of yarn tension. And you really have to have good control. You really have to understand how much yarn you need to make each round. And you have to be able to know how much more yarn you need before you end. Anyway, I think it's just a little bit too complicated for beginners. But if you are a more advanced beginner, or you know, someone with a lot more experience, I think the more experience you have, the easier using this yarn will be. And the best thing about it is that you don't have to cut in the you don't have to cut or weave in any extra yarn. It's just basically a one and done thing, right? And you don't have to buy 7 different colors of yarn. Although the thing about granny squares is that they're usually stash busters, right? So again, if you are a beginner, maybe not. If you are more experienced, then go right ahead and try it. Just pay attention to your tension, and know that your granny square is not, it is going to be a little wonky. It's going to be a little tighter in spaces and a little looser in spaces, because you kind of have to adjust as you go along. But when you block these granny squares out, you can make them all the same size, and it's not too much. It's not too much of a difference, at least when I used it. So again, if you're a beginner, maybe not. If you're more advanced, go right ahead. Because if you're a beginner and you try this, I have a feeling you're going to get very frustrated. And I would hate for you to become so frustrated and give up on making granny squares or learning how to crochet altogether. So if you're a beginner, there are other ways that you can learn how to make a granny square that are more enjoyable, that, the words, that are less frustrating, let's say. Yeah, again, not for the beginners, probably for the more advanced, but I loved it. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I'm thinking of buying it in other colors, and I'm going to crochet up a few more of these, and in another video I will show you what I made. They have a suggestion on here of what you can make this vest, but I think I'm going to make something different using these granny squares, and I'll make a video about that later on. Okay, so I hope that you had a good time. And I will see you in the next video. Oh, and by the way, if you are interested in the next video or previous one, you can go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification button so that you will know when new videos come out. And if you subscribe, you can go ahead and see some of the older videos that I've made. And if you like it, well, go ahead and press the like button so that I'll know to make more videos about this particular topic. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this. Red Heart all-in-one granny square yarn. Pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. So I'll see you next time. All right. Bye-bye.